Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed cash cards to tornado survivors in Granbury, Texas to help residents rebuild their lives. In Thailand, we joined Tzu Chi volunteers in Ratchaburi as they hold a Buddha Day ceremony at a school auditorium, as well as awarding New Shoot scholarships. And in Taoyuan, Taiwan, a sign language musical and a memorial concert was held, which inspired on-stage volunteers and audience members respectively to fulfill their filial duties before it's too late. We start today's show in the United States. On May 15th, tornadoes tore through the midwestern parts of the country, with Granbury, Texas being one of the worst hit. Following a first round of aid distributions on the 18th, Tzu Chi volunteers in Dallas revisited Granbury to hand out cash cards and blankets for a second aid distribution. As the relief work in Texas have temporarily concluded, Tzu Chi volunteers will head next to Oklahoma, hoping to provide much-needed assistance to survivors there as well.
This is the second time Tzu Chi volunteers have visited the city of Granbury, which was devastated by a recent tornado. Hundreds of houses were damaged, leaving numerous residents homeless. Among them, Daniel and Amber, who are temporarily staying at their relative's place.
That house right there next door was actually, all the rocks to that house were pulled right out of the backyard, so right in the back field. So, and we were actually one of the first families that actually settled in Rancho Palos. Probably like the third family. Been here like 40 years. You know. My great-grandpa built that house with my grandfather here, and man, that's just crazy.
Oh, I was devastated. I looked around. My daughter was scared to even come in here. She would not walk in the house. She just kept saying, "Mom, I'm scared. I don't want to be here." So my mother took her home, and we got things cleaned up. And
following the disaster, many local residents still remain unsettled emotionally and physically. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers from Dallas carried out a second round of cash card distribution to aid 26 more families.
We're happy to be alive and to know people like you. No people like us. We are thankful. We are thankful.
Following the aid distribution in Texas, Tzu Chi volunteers will travel to Oklahoma and collaborate with local rescue teams there to offer much-needed assistance.
Moving to France, in our next report, we meet Michelle, a nurse working at a hospice care facility in Paris that Tzu Chi volunteers previously visited. As a gift, the volunteers gave Michelle a copy of Tzu Chi aphorisms in French, which sparked her interest in the Buddhist NGO. Let's take a look. Strolling along the streets of Paris is Michelle, an average, everyday French person. She puts on her sunglasses to block the sun from her eyes and heads over to her destination. On her days off from her nursing job, Michelle likes to visit museums or art exhibitions, though lately she has a new place to visit, the Tzu Chi office in France. Thanks to a copy of Tzu Chi aphorisms in French, Michelle has finally found peace and came to terms with her husband's death.
It's really easy reading the aphorisms in French. They introduced me to Master Zheng Yan's thinking. The phrases are easy to understand, yet they are full of life's wisdoms. One phrase in particular that resonated with me was, "Through educating the rich, the poor are relieved. Society really needs the wealthy to take care of those less fortunate."
Tzu Chi's ideals were at first unfamiliar for Michelle as she grew up with the France motto of liberty, equality, and fraternity. And crossing ethnic boundaries and social statuses to help others was rarely mentioned. However, Michelle had already developed an interest in Chinese culture and Buddhism, and her chance encounter with Tzu Chi helped her redefine the motto of fraternity.
The pressure from working at the nursing home is taxing enough without having to deal with the complex interpersonal relationships in an office environment. The scheming and plotting just wears me out. However, when I visit the Tzu Chi office, a sense of serenity comes over me. Tzu Chi volunteers always carry a smile on their face, which makes me feel at ease. Even if I don't understand the Chinese Diet TV programming, watching it still brings me peace.
Inside the office, Michelle knows that the white statue is the Buddha. She also knows that the portrait hanging on the wall is the author of the Jingsi aphorisms. Bowing her head, she pays respects in her own way. At Tzu Chi, Michelle has at last found the peace that she has been searching for. In Thailand, Tzu Chi first began its mission in Ratchaburi province after helping the state recover from flooding in 2011. This year marks the second year that the Buddhist NGO is awarding New Shoot scholarships to needy students in the province's Phota-Ram district, where the number of participating schools increased to 7 from the original 2. All award recipients and their families were also invited to join Tzu Chi's annual Buddha Day ceremony. Here in Thailand, Tzu Chi volunteers are not short of helping hands in turning the school's auditorium into a regal Buddha Day ceremony venue.
We didn't give proper assignments. Everyone just helps out wherever help is needed.
Tzu Chi first entered Ratchaburi province because of severe flooding back in 2011. Last year, the first ever Tzu Chi Buddha Day ceremony helped put people's hearts at ease. This year, Tetspan Watchok School's principal took the initiative to invite Tzu Chi into his school to help his students learn gratitude.
I'm very moved because I'm happy for the children. Tzu Chi volunteers have shared with us their compassion. Their scholarship also inspires the love in our heart, giving everyone a positive direction in life.
Last year, only 2 schools participated in the aid program. This year, the number has increased to 7. 66-year-old Tong Bai, who takes care of her 4 grandchildren, was unable to work after undergoing cataract surgery. She was relieved to receive this timely financial assistance.
I was worried this month as the money my grandchildren's mother gave me was not enough. I was trying to think of ways to make money.
With the scholarship aid, single parent Fen Napa did not have to worry about her 2 boys' tutoring fees.
Every year before school starts, I will worry as my son's schooling fees continue to increase.
I will be a good child and help my parents with household chores and care for my younger brother.
Parents do not have to worry when their children are in school, thus contributing to stability and peace in society. Recycling and environmental protection is gaining awareness in society. In Taiwan, Kending National Park was set up to protect and conserve the abundant coral formation found in the area. However, ensuring the health of the reefs has been difficult as park officials are chronically short of staff and resources. To help protect the precious reefs and rehabilitate those damaged by human activities, a group of volunteers has taken to the ocean daily to clean up any garbage the tide brings in. The efforts of these volunteers, led by park officials, has brought concrete results, with the focal point of their efforts translating into an upsurge of coral health and aquatic life in the surrounding 1.8 kilometer of ocean. Park officials and volunteers hope that through such measures, the coral life of Kending National Park will remain vibrant for generations to come. Here's more.
With his diver's suit, oxygen tank, camera, and garbage bag ready, Kending National Park Conservation Staff Guo Zhihong is ready for another day in the ocean.
If we find a lot of garbage down there, these bags help us bring it to the surface where we can dispose of it more easily.
After the heavy rains, the Kending National Park Marine Volunteer Team, led by park officials, gets back to work. Chen Rongxiang, born and raised in Kending, is the head of the park's conservation team. On these particular outings, he and his team are joined by volunteers from all over Taiwan. They all know that if the garbage is not cleaned up, it will damage the coral reefs and lead to a drop in aquatic life in the area.
This is an urgent task. By caring for these reefs is not something that I can do alone. It is something that needs everyone's participation. Without such conservation efforts, Kending's marine resources will dry up or be lost forever.
Thanks to Chen and his team's efforts over the years in cleaning up the garbage, the coral reefs here have slowly grown back, turning the area once again into a bed of aquatic life. In fact, it is hard to imagine that this area was once overfished, leading to a collapse in fish population and coral bleaching.
conservation should be carried out in the way that it has been drawn for this protected area that includes a ban on all fishing, while at the same time working to create a sustainable use of resources. So in addition to the ban, we also hope to share the results of our conservation efforts with the public.
Although park officials do their best to protect aquatic life in the park, they face a slippery slope in the millions of visitors that pass through the park every year and in the presence of the nearby number 3 nuclear power plant.
In the beginning, sports and recreation activities were not allowed on park grounds, but do we have the resources to carry out this regulation?
Kending receives over 5 million tourists a year, and park officials simply do not have sufficient manpower or resources to police them all. The best they can do is pick up after the crowds.
A national park can allow for tourist and recreational activities, but that should not be the main emphasis. Emphasis should be on a national park's true mission, which is conservation.
Is it possible for ecology and economics to find a balance? It perhaps starts from finding a balance between environmental and commercial interests and educating the public to see the importance of walking a fine line between the two.
Tzu Chi This and Guanshan Hospital have continually safeguarded the health of local residents in eastern Taiwan. Next, we meet care recipient Li Futian and his mother. Although Li is immobile and old, he still sees the opportunity to fulfill his filial duties to look after his mother. Let's take a look.
Despite being 68 years old, Li Futian spares no effort in taking care of his 93-year-old mother.
It's time to get up. If I had healthy legs, I could move my mom more easily.
As one of his legs has been amputated, Li's mobility is limited, but he still pays attention to every detail to make his mother feel comfortable sitting on the chair.
You have to light paper before burning bamboos.
To save gas, Li uses firewood to boil water.
Yes, it's expensive.
Although Li has limited mobility and has to look after his bedridden mother, he never thought of giving up.
It's dangerous. I have to use my wheelchair.
For the sake of his safety, Li also uses the wheelchair to move about, regardless of the inconveniences.
This is my daily work. You can take a shower now, Mom.
As his children and grandchildren are not around, Li has to do all the household chores on his own, as well as look after his mother. Within less than 24 hours of our last visit, as we joined the doctors and social workers to revisit, Li's mother has passed away.
I was so shocked by the impermanence of life.
As part of their regular home visitation, this time around, Tzu Chi volunteers are here to extend their deepest condolences.
I feel blessed that I could still help her take a shower yesterday.
Never expecting his mother to pass away so suddenly, Li can hardly bear his mother's death.
I feel sad about losing her.
It is common to see senior citizens supporting their parents here in Yuli Town. In Taiwan, those above 65 account for 11.25% of the population, while in Yuli Town, it is 17.77%. The Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital shoulders responsibility for the health of the disadvantaged local residents.
If you view a hospital as a lamp, when you turn off the lamp, you will find the Huadong Valley here is a dark valley.
Here in an area where there are less than 60,000 people, it is never a cost-effective choice to set up a hospital, but human lives are not something to be evaluated in financial terms. and Tzu Chi hospitals will continue to safeguard the health of the local residents.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taoyuan put on a performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents at the Zhongli Tzu Chi grounds. The performance left many onstage volunteers moved, and many immediately took the opportunity to express their gratitude to their parents. Meanwhile, to remember Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Songquan, who passed away from a heart attack in April, his family organized a memorial concert in Taoyuan, which left many attendees inspired to fulfill their filial duties before it is too late.
As the music of the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings is playing, family members and friends of Xu Songquan gather to commemorate his days as a Tzu Chi volunteer.
When my mother used my father's mobile phone to call me, I was hoping to hear his voice saying my name again.
She passed away from a heart attack in April. In his will, she donated his cadaver to medical science to extend his great love to more people in this world.
Master say my husband was really blessed because he passed away without suffering. As his family, we have to let him go without worries.
At the memorial concert, Xu's children are trying to convey a message to all participants to fulfill their filial piety to parents before it is too late.
With so many people taking part in the concert, we hope they will pay the love forward to more people. I feel my father is still around because his spirit continues to live on.
At the Zhongli Tzu Chi grounds, Tzu Chi volunteers put on a performance of Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents, which later moved many onstage volunteers.
It's my responsibility to raise my son.
In total, 320 onstage volunteers joined the Sutra performance, which was attended by some 1,700 audience members. The wisdom and teachings in the Sutra inspired many.
Speaking of this, it is quite sad. My wife told me to visit my mom more often because the times we get to see her will only grow less.
Through the practice of the Sutra, many onstage volunteers took concrete action to show their love to their parents.
I told my mom, I love you. I thank her for giving birth to me, a beautiful daughter.
I've done my performance. I just want to say, Mom, I love you.
Children should seize the opportunity to show filial piety to their parents before it is too late.
In Malaysia, we meet Huang Li Huan. When Huang was at university, she attended a Tzu Chi seminar which brought her to the world of Tzu Chi. And following her graduation, she decided to join the Buddhist NGO and become a staff member at the Malaysia chapter. Initially, her mother opposed her career decision. However, with patience and devotion, Huang gradually changed her mother's views on her job at Tzu Chi and even inspired her mother to join Tzu Chi's ranks.
Gently talking on the phone to applicants of Tzu Chi's financial support scheme is Huang Li Huan, who is a staff member at the Social Service Division of the Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter.
Once I called my mother, and upon hearing her voice, I started crying. She asked me not to work at the Tzu Chi Foundation. She said that if I didn't quit the job, she would come to Penang and take me back to our hometown.
At university, Huang's major was environmental technology, but she chose to work in the field of social service following her graduation. Finding that she is not working in the field in which she studied, Huang's mother strongly opposed her choice and asked her to quit her job at Tzu Chi.
Back then, I was in a dilemma. I thought I had made the right choice, but in a way, I was an unfilial child because my mother was disappointed at my choice. I was sorry I couldn't satisfy both my mom and myself. A decision had to be made, though.
To enable her mother to gain a better understanding of her role at the Tzu Chi Foundation, Huang seized every opportunity to share her experience with her mother when she was home, and gradually her mother's views changed.
My mom started recognizing what I'm doing now. She also started practicing recycling, sorting recyclables, making monthly donations, and saving change in bamboo banks.
With her patience and devotion, Huang not only changed her relationship with her mother for the better, but also continued her journey on the Tzu Chi path.
In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to show their love and care for seniors in nursing homes by providing not only haircuts but family-like companionship. These regular visits are eagerly awaited by seniors and volunteers alike. Here's more. Siri Manawati of Jelambor, Indonesia, lives in a senior home. Without family by her side, her life's focus seems to be missing. With Tzu Chi volunteers' monthly care and visit, Manawati has found the warmth of family again.
They gave me a haircut and helped me trim my nails. This is all very meaningful for us as we are unable to do these things for ourselves.
A lover of books, she has finished Master Zhen Yan's books, and her lonely heart has also found spiritual solace.
This book's author is not familiar to me, but the words inside inspire me to live a better life.
The 71-year-old senior does not waste her time idly. She keeps busy by making mats to help the senior home generate extra income.
I don't feel tired. This helps to pass time.
Even though Jelambor Tzu Chi volunteers are here spreading their love and care, it's actually the volunteers themselves who are learning from the seniors.
Sometimes they'll feel that since they are older, they're outcasts of society, but it's not true. We still care about them very much.
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in Bandung also regularly visit seniors, bringing them much joy and laughter.
Sometimes we miss the volunteers and we'll ask one another why Tzu Chi volunteers haven't visited us yet.
Spending time singing songs and chatting, these volunteers care for these seniors as though they were their own parents. The tender moments are valuable times together.
They're in good spirits and look forward to each visit with Tzu Chi volunteers. As everyone feels like one big family, it's like seeing their own children visiting.
What these seniors want most is companionship, similar to which they experience by their children's side as they watch them grow up and enjoy genuine happiness. At the end of the show, we take you to two Buddha Day ceremonies, one located in South Africa, where over 100 Cape Town Tzu Chi volunteers and members of the public attended. The other takes place in South America, in Chile, where despite religious differences, everyone came together to celebrate the occasion. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend, and see you next week.